Okay, great, thanks. Let's get on to creating our very first worksheet. In this overview, I'm going to create a simple spreadsheet including text numbers, create some calculations, and add a simple chart as well at the end. First thing I need to do is add a title for my spreadsheet. So I'm going to call this one Who Dat. Let me just get my cursor here. It's going to be Who Dat Donuts Limited bestsellers. Here's a guy who's an entrepreneur, and he thinks that he can sell donuts, and he can sell donuts that are much tastier and better priced than Mr. Ronnie's here in Houma. Okay, so we've created this. We're creating our first worksheet. Who Dat Donuts Limited Bestsellers, and now we're going to just type in some of my favorite donuts. I'm going to type in jam, type in custard, type in chocolate. Now we want to type in here, we want to type in the months of the year, January, and then I'm going to use the fill handle to get Excel to do the continued list from January, February, March, and then I'm also had another one to add one for total. Excuse me. Go back and okay. And so now I want to just add some sales. Let's say for the month of January we sold $100 worth of donuts. For jam, we did $150. For custard, we did $175. For chocolate, for February we did $150. We did $195 for custard. Excuse me. And we did $200 for chocolate. For March, we did $195. We did $250. And we did $225. Okay. So we've just created just a little small spreadsheet, and I'm in cell address E2. I'm going to just put total, and then in cell address A6, I want to write total. So now what I want to do, I want to add up all the figures. One of the things I want you to remember is that Excel is a mathematical electronic spreadsheet. So whenever you're asking Excel to compute a mathematical equation, you always start with the equal sign. This is very important. Whenever you ask Excel to compute a mathematical calculation, always start with the equal. So I'm going to hit the equal, and it's going to say B3 shift plus B4 shift plus B5, hit enter. The answer we get is 425. Then I'm going to take my range, and I'm going to have Excel take what's in cell block B6, which is equals B3 plus B4 plus B5, and apply that formula to a range of cells. Boom. And okay, you have to get the fill handle to do it, and Excel applies that formula to a range of cells. I also want to add all the numbers for January, February, March to get their totals. I select my range, come over here, click auto sum, and Excel will sum that up for me. As you can see, for the cells for January, February, March for jam donuts was 445. I want to take the formula in there and apply it to a range of cells, and boom, I get the so I copied that formula down, and what Excel does is it copies that formula down, and it'll compute the calculations in that particular cell. So now we have this, we've created our very first worksheet. It's Who Dat Donuts Limited Bestsellers. Now what I want to do is that I want to do a little formatting. So I'm going to select my range. Okay. Okay. And I want to build a border around it. I'm going to go up to the font section here, build an all border section around it. Okay. And the next thing I want to do is I'm going to make some corrections. Let me hit the undo here, undo button. I'm going to reduce this. I'm going to select the Who Dat Donuts Limited Bestsellers, and I want to reduce that from font size 20 to font size of 14. Okay. And I also want to take what's in cell address E3 and apply that format to a range of cells. Boom. Okay. So now I have my corrected chart that I'm creating. I now want to build a border around it. So select my range. Okay, and then I'm going to select all borders up top here. All borders. And Excel builds a border around it. Then I want to select this range here at the very top. I want to go ahead and make it bold. I want to add some color. I want to use it, add a little color here. Okay. And I want to also make my total here a total yellow so that it stands out. And I want to make it bold as well. Okay. So here it is. Here's a guy who's a small independent entrepreneur, and he's selling donuts out of his garage, and he thinks he can beat Mr. Ronnie's Donuts, and he's created a chart for his donut sales for January, February, March. Now we know that these numbers here are referring to currency, but someone else may not know, so we want to change all this here. We want to select the range, and we want to change these numbers to currency. We're going to come up here to the numbers section. We're going to change it to currency. Boom. Okay. And so now Excel changes it to currency. So this is now representing dollars, which we knew, but someone else may not have known. Now we want to get rid of some of the zeros. We select our range, and then we get Excel to remove some of the zeros. Okay. Okay. Now, so we've just created this chart. This Who Dat Donuts Limited Bestsellers. I might want to use these numbers as part of a presentation, so I'd like to make the spreadsheet look a little bit more interesting. To do that, I'm going to add a chart, and I'm going to select to create a chart cells A2. Okay, I'm going to A2 all the way to D5. Okay, then I'm going to come up here and click on Insert. Okay, and I'm going to look for the graph. Let's see something. Let's go back to home. Insert. I've selected my range, and what I'm trying to do is just make a graph of the information that we have. A line, graph. I don't want a line. I don't want a column. Let's see, a column. Let's try the column. I want to do a chart. So let's see here. I want to insert a chart. And so I'm going to click on the very first one. And I'm going to click on the very first one here. And what Excel has done, we've created a chart based upon the information that's listed in our, we've created a chart based upon the information we had in our chart here, okay? It tells our sales for January, February, March, okay? This is important because let's say you want to grow your business, and. 'And you want to do a presentation, you want to bring this to a bank, and you want to show them the information that we have in our chart. Well, we know that these numbers are referring to currency, but someone else may not know. So we want to change all this here. We want to select the range, and we want to select all borders. Okay, then I'm going to select my range. and you could show the bank based upon the your sales. This is how your sales are. This is great because most people can see things visually like a chart than just looking at numbers, okay? And one of the great things about a spreadsheet is that if you find out that you made a mistake, and you can go in, let's say your sales for January jam donuts was not 100, but say 500. Okay, we're gonna go in, double click, get the insertion point, and hit backspace. I'm gonna hit 5, 0. Watch, I'm gonna hit enter. You notice Excel instantaneously makes the correction. So that's the great thing about working with an electronic spreadsheet as opposed to a paper-based spreadsheet, that any changes that you make will it will automatically reflect in your charts. So that's one of the great things. We just created a simple spreadsheet. Once again, we could also go back here. You see where it says January, February, March totals? We can make that bold, and we could also highlight that and maybe make that yellow. We could also make here where it says jam, custard, chocolate. We could make that bold, and we can make that yellow. Okay. And we've created our first chart, Who Dat Donuts Limited Bestsellers, and then we use that information to create a chart.